The unexpected encounter, the void between stars, held a silence that could drive people mad. Commander Elena Vasquez had learned to find peace in that emptiness during her 15 years of service. The bridge of the UES Silent Thunder hummed with quiet efficiency, her crew moving through their routines with practiced ease. Outside the viewports, distant stars painted tiny dots of light against the cosmic black. Elena adjusted her position in the captain's chair, reviewing the patrol route on her personal display. The Outer Rim territories were supposed to be quiet. 3 months without so much as a pirate sighting. The colonists on Kepler 442b were building their farms in peace, while the mining operations on Titan 7 continued their steady extraction of rare metals. Everything was routine, predictable, and exactly how Elena preferred it. Lieutenant Marcus Chen looked up from the weapons console, his dark eyes reflecting the blue glow of his screens. "Commander, we're approaching the outer marker of the patrol zone. All systems green across the board." Elena nodded. Marcus was young but sharp. He had graduated top of his class from the Naval Academy, specializing in advanced weapons systems. Most importantly, he understood the value of silence and precision. "Thank you, Lieutenant. Dr. Mitchell, anything interesting on the deep space sensors?" Dr. Sarah Mitchell, the ship's science officer, glanced up from her station. Her red hair was tied back in a practical bun, and her green eyes held the intensity of someone who saw patterns where others saw chaos. "Nothing unusual, Commander. Background radiation is normal. No gravitational anomalies detected." The Silent Thunder was officially classified as a patrol vessel designed for border security and colony protection. On paper, she carried standard armaments and defensive systems. Her crew complement was small, just 43 souls, and her mission profile was considered routine. What the official records didn't mention were the modifications hidden deep within her hull. Elena had commanded 3 different ships during her career, but none like this one. The Silent Thunder was a test platform, carrying technology so advanced that only a handful of people in the entire human fleet knew of its existence. The quantum disruption arrays built into her superstructure could tear apart matter at the subatomic level. Her power core was based on controlled microsingularities that generated energy on a scale previously thought impossible. The bridge's calm was shattered by an urgent beep from the long-range sensors. "Commander," Dr. Mitchell called out, her voice suddenly tight with concern. "I'm detecting multiple contacts at extreme range. Vector 127 Mark 45. They're big and they're moving fast." Elena straightened in her chair. "How many contacts, Doctor?" Sarah's fingers danced across her console, refining the sensor readings. "Initial count shows 87 vessels. Wait, that number is climbing. 112. 135. She paused, her face pale. "Commander, I'm reading over 200 ships in formation. They're heading directly for the Kepler system." The silence that followed was different from the peaceful quiet of moments before. This silence carried weight, like the pause before thunder. Elena felt her pulse quicken, but her voice remained steady. "Identification. Unknown configuration. Drive signatures don't match any human or allied technology in our database." Sarah looked up, meeting Elena's gaze. "Commander, based on their current trajectory and speed, they'll reach the Kepler colonies in approximately 4 hours." Elena's mind raced through possibilities. 200 unknown ships moving toward human colonies could only mean one thing. Red alert, all hands to battle stations. Marcus, Begin charging all weapon systems, but keep power signatures minimal. Sarah, send an emergency transmission to Fleet Command. Priority Alpha, include all sensor data. The bridge lighting shifted to the crimson glow of combat status. Throughout the ship, Alina could hear the muffled sounds of her crew preparing for whatever was coming. The Silent Thunder's true capabilities were about to be tested against an unknown enemy. Commander, Marcus reported from his station. Weapons systems are online. Quantum disruption arrays are charging. We'll have full power in 90 seconds. Contact established, Sarah announced. They're broadcasting on multiple frequencies. Universal translation protocols are active. A harsh alien voice filled the bridge. The words were translated by the ship's computers, but the contempt in the speaker's tone needed no interpretation. Primitive vessels of the lesser species. This territory now belongs to the HFY Empire. Your colonies will serve our expansion. Your people will submit or be eliminated. Surrender immediately or face annihilation. Alina almost smiled. She had encountered arrogance before, but this was exceptional. Open a channel, Sarah. Let me talk to them. The alien voice returned, now with a visual component. The main screen showed a creature that looked like a cross between a wolf and a mantis. Its elongated head held for eyes that glowed with inner fire, and its mouth parts clicked ominously when it spoke. This was Admiral Zethkar, commander of the HFY 3rd Conquest Fleet. I am Admiral Zethkar of the HFY Empire. Your pathetic vessel will stand down immediately. Our fleet numbers over 200 warships, each capable of destroying your primitive colonies. Resistance is futile. Alina stood slowly, her expression calm. Admiral Zethkar, this is Commander Alina Vasquez of the United Earthship Silent Thunder. You are entering human territory without authorization. Turn your fleet around and leave immediately, or you will be considered hostile. The alien's mandibles clicked in what might have been laughter. One small patrol vessel against the might of the HFY Empire. Your species clearly lacks intelligence. We have conquered 17 different civilizations. We have turned entire star systems into ash. Your single ship is nothing. Admiral Alina replied, her voice carrying a note of warning. You have 60 seconds to alter course and leave human space. This is your only warning. Admiral Zethkar's 4 eyes blazed brighter. Insignificant creature, you dare threaten us. Communications officer, close this channel. Weapons, target that pathetic vessel. We will make an example of these humans. The transmission ended, leaving the bridge in tense silence. Alina settled back into her command chair, her fingers finding the armrests. Around her, the crew waited for orders. They had trained for this moment, but training was different from reality. Sarah, what's their formation looking like? They're maintaining a standard conquest formation. Battleships in the center, cruisers on the flanks, destroyers screening the advance. Very traditional, they're treating us like we're not even a threat. Alina nodded. Marcus, are we fully charged? All quantum disruption arrays are at full power, Commander. Targeting systems are locked and loaded. We can engage the entire fleet simultaneously if needed. Good. Elena's voice carried a cold edge that her crew had never heard before. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to witness is classified at the highest levels. The technology we're carrying represents decades of human innovation and ingenuity. Today, we're going to show the galaxy what happens when they threaten human colonies. The HFY fleet had moved into attack formation, their ships bristling. with weapons. Energy signatures spiked as alien weapon systems came online. To Admiral Zethkar and his commanders, the single human vessel looked helpless and alone. They had no idea that they were about to face technology that existed beyond their comprehension. The Silent Thunder's quantum disruption systems didn't just destroy ships. They unraveled the fundamental forces that held matter together. A single properly aimed shot could turn a battleship into its component atoms in milliseconds. Elena watched the tactical display as the enemy fleet approached optimal firing range. The Kethva ships moved with the confidence of predators who had never met anything that could fight back. Their formation was textbook perfect for overwhelming a weaker opponent. 30 seconds to optimal range, Marcus reported. Elena's hand moved to the activation key for the quantum arrays. Around her, the bridge crew held their breath. In 30 seconds, the balance of power in this sector of the galaxy was about to shift permanently. "Commander," Sarah whispered, "they have no idea what's coming, do they?" Elena's lips curved into the faintest smile. "No, Doctor, they don't." The countdown continued, each second bringing the alien fleet closer to a demonstration of human ingenuity. They would never forget. The Silent Thunder hung motionless in space, looking for all the world like easy prey waiting to be destroyed. Admiral Zethkar was about to learn the most important lesson of his military career. Never assume that your enemy is weaker simply because they appear peaceful. The three-minute war, the moment arrived with mathematical precision. Elena's finger pressed the activation key, and the Silent Thunder transformed from a simple patrol vessel into an instrument of absolute destruction. The first sign that something was wrong came when Admiral Zethkar's flagship simply ceased to exist. One moment, the massive battleship was leading the Kethva formation with its weapons charging for the killing blow. The next instant, there was nothing but a brief shimmer in space where 2 million tons of alien warship had been. What happened to the flagship? Zethkar, second in command, screamed across the fleet communication channel. The answer came in the form of 15 more capital ships dissolving into nothingness within the span of 3 seconds. Elena watched the tactical display with professional detachment. The quantum disruption arrays were performing exactly as designed. Each shot sent a focused beam of quantum interference that broke the atomic bonds holding matter together. The target ships didn't explode or burn. They simply stopped existing as organized matter, their atoms scattering harmlessly into space. "Marcus, target the heavy cruisers next. We want to break their command structure." "Aye, Commander." Adjusting. Targeting parameters. Marcus's hands moved across his console with steady precision. Despite the magnitude of what they were accomplishing, his training kept him focused on the technical aspects of the engagement. The Silent Thunder's hull barely vibrated as the quantum arrays discharged again. 20 heavy cruisers vanished. In perfect synchronization, their destruction so complete that not even debris remained. The alien fleet's carefully planned formation began to collapse as ship after ship simply disappeared. On the bridge of one of the surviving Kethva destroyers, Admiral Zethkar clung to his command station as chaos erupted around him. His flagship was gone, along with most of his command staff. The human vessel hadn't moved, hadn't even seemed to fire any visible weapons. Yet his massive fleet was being systematically erased from existence. "All ships, scatter formation," Zethkar commanded, his voice cracking with panic. "Evasive maneuvers. How are they doing this?" His weapons officer, a young Kethva named Vextel, looked up from his console with wide, terrified eyes. "Admiral, our sensors can't detect any weapon signatures from the human ship. No energy discharge, No projectile launch. Nothing. Our ships are just ... disappearing. Alina could hear the alien communications through the translation systems. The panic in their voices was unmistakable. Sarah, are you monitoring their fleet communications? Yes, Commander. They have no understanding of what's happening to them. Their technology can't even detect our quantum disruption beams. To them, we're destroying their ships with invisible weapons. Alina nodded. This was exactly what Earth's scientists had predicted. The quantum disruption technology operated on principles that were completely outside conventional weapons theory. Any species that hadn't developed quantum mechanics to the same level as humanity would be helpless against it. Marcus, let's finish this quickly. We don't want any survivors reporting back with detailed tactical analysis. Understood, Commander. Preparing final targeting sequence. The remaining Kethva ships tried desperately to escape their engines, pushing beyond safe limits in their panic to flee. Some attempted to return fire, sending streams of plasma and kinetic projectiles toward the silent thunder. The human ship's shields absorbed the attacks effortlessly, the alien weapons causing no more damage than raindrops hitting a mountain. Alina watched as Marcus selected target after target with methodical efficiency. Each activation of the quantum arrays removed another cluster of enemy vessels from existence. The mighty Kethba Third Conquest Fleet, which had terrorized 17 different civilizations, was being systematically erased by a single human patrol ship. Admiral Zethkar watched in horror as his destroyer squadron disappeared around him. His ship was one of the last dozen vessels remaining from an armada of over 200. The human weapon, whatever it was, seemed to have unlimited range and perfect accuracy. There was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Commander, the alien admiral gasped into his communications system. Please, we surrender. We will leave your territory immediately. Elena's voice came back cold and clear. Admiral Zethkar, you threaten to destroy human colonies and enslave our people. You declared war on humanity without provocation. Surrender is no longer an option. The final volley from the quantum disruption arrays was a masterpiece of targeting precision. 10 ships vanished simultaneously, leaving only Admiral Zethkar's destroyer floating alone in space, surrounded by the fading quantum signatures of his destroyed fleet. Alina stood and walked to the main view screen, looking out at the single, surviving enemy vessel. Her voice was calm but carried absolute authority when she opened the channel one final time. Admiral Zethkar, you are the sole survivor of your fleet. I am allowing you to live for one reason only. You will return to your empire and deliver this message. Humanity is not the primitive species you believed us to be. We are not defenseless prey waiting to be conquered. She paused, letting her words sink in. Tell your leaders that what you encountered today was a single patrol vessel conducting routine border security. Tell them that we have hundreds of ships like this one, each carrying weapons that can erase entire fleets from existence. Tell them that if any Kethva force ever approaches human territory again, they will not receive a warning. Admiral Zethkar's voice came back shaky and broken. I understand, Commander. The Kethva Empire will remember this day. See that they do. You have 1 hour to clear our territory before I change my mind about letting you live. The alien destroyer turned and fled into the depths of space, its engines straining at maximum power. Alina watched it disappear into the cosmic distance, carrying news that would shake the foundations of galactic politics. Dr. Mitchell looked up from her science station. her face pale with the magnitude of what they had accomplished. Commander, total engagement time was 2 minutes and 47 seconds. We destroyed 212 enemy vessels with 0 casualties on our side. Marcus powered down the quantum disruption arrays, his hands steady despite the adrenaline still coursing through his system. All weapons systems secured, Commander. Power core returning to standard operating parameters. Alina returned to her command chair, her expression thoughtful. Around her, the bridge crew was beginning to process what they had just witnessed. They had participated in what might be the most one-sided military engagement in galactic history. Sarah, send a follow-up report to Fleet Command. Include full tactical analysis and recommend that we maintain our current patrol schedule. Have a feeling we're going to see some changes in alien behavior over the next few months. Dr. Mitchell nodded, her fingers already working on the report. Commander, do you think they'll actually learn from this? Or will other species decide to test us? Alina considered the question carefully. The smart ones will learn. The stupid ones will provide us with additional demonstrations of human technological superiority. Either way, the galaxy has just discovered that humanity is not the easy target. They thought we were. As the Silent Thunder resumed its patrol route, news of the engagement was already racing across the galactic communication networks. Within hours, every major civilization would know that a human patrol vessel had destroyed an entire HFY conquest fleet in under 3 minutes without taking a single hit in return. The political implications would be enormous. Species that had been planning their own attacks on human colonies would suddenly reconsider their strategies. Trade negotiations would shift dramatically in humanity's favor. The balance of power that had existed for centuries was about to change permanently. But perhaps most importantly, the message was clear to anyone listening. Humanity had been peaceful not because they were weak, but because they chose to be. When forced to fight, humans brought technologies and tactics that could reshape the battlefield in ways that older civilizations couldn't even comprehend. Admiral Zethkar's destroyer continued its flight back to HFY space, carrying with it the end of one era and the beginning of another. The galaxy would never look at humanity the same way again. Alina settled back into her captain's chair and smiled slightly. Resume standard patrol pattern. Let's see what other interesting things we might encounter out here. The Silent Thunder sailed on through the cosmic void, her crew forever changed by 3 minutes of combat that would echo through galactic history for generations to come.